this is Junior Chicken here. It's been a while since I made a Smash Bros video, so I decided to make a top 10 of my favorite Final Smashes. Final Smashes in Super Smash Bros. Are full of mayhem. A massive attack that a player can unleash by breaking open the Smash Ball. It can turn the tide of the battle or end the match altogether. It's quite a spectacle. I've ranked these Final Smashes based on aesthetics, how good they look, how powerful they are with damage dealing and knockback, and how well they relate to the characters who possess them. Because, let's be honest, some are quite questionable. I also will be only focusing on Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, so no Brawl Final Smashes. I'll bring a few up, but mainly for comparison reasons. With that out of the way though, let's get to it with my top 10 favorite Final Smashes. 10! To be honest, I think Pikachu is pretty overrated. He gets a ton of attention, especially in the spin-off games. He's practically the protagonist in every one of them. I honestly prefer Raichu over him. Even in Smash Bros., Pikachu has a lot of spammable attacks and is fairly lightweight, making him more better for beginner players. At least he has a pretty sick Final Smash though.
Volt Tackle is kind of a weird Final Smash for me. It's not like Pikachu's actually tackling his enemies. It's more like he's turning into a giant electric orb and then shocking the hell out of his enemies, but it's still pretty stunning to look at. It may be a tough one to control, but it still has plenty of power behind it if you trap your enemies in the electric vortex. You can even press A to let out bursts of electricity that can knock out enemies if they have a high enough damage. I guess this makes it on the list mainly because of its power, and not so much because of how relevant it is to Pikachu. And there is another Pokemon who has a Final Smash I like more, but you're gonna have to wait for that. 9! Remember when I said that Ultra Sword was everyone's favorite super ability from Kirby's Return to Dreamland? That's what makes it so effective as a Final Smash. With Cook Kirby, it was just kinda thrown in there for the lulz, but here it makes a lot of sense. He uses it to chop up Maggalore, so let's have him use it to finish off his Smash foes. It's got a lot of power, pretty much knocking out anyone who's in a high enough damage range. And it's such an adorable sight to see Kirby chop up his enemies with a sword that is way bigger than he is. Sure, Link may also have an awesome sword finisher, but it doesn't hold a candle to this guy. 8! Damn. Great Ether is a sight to behold. Watching Ike tear up his foes with his flaming sword and then slamming them into the ground. If only it wasn't one-upped by Robin in Super Smash Bros. 4. By far, Pair Up is the better spectacle. It also really suits Robin's character since Robin was introduced in Fire Emblem Awakening, and the pair mechanic was also introduced in that game. You get to see Robin call upon his buddy Chrom, or her buddy Chrom, to send the enemy into the sky where they ultimately get pummeled by a swords and spell combo, showing off the full trinity of fire, electricity, and wind, which is what makes it a bigger spectacle than Great Ether. It also is powerful enough to destroy anyone caught under the slam.
And for those of you who were hoping that Chrom would be playable in Super Smash Bros., at least he got into this Final Smash and as a Mii costume. Okay, I guess that's not satisfying enough, but still, that's something. 7! When Samus and Zero Suit Samus were announced to be individual fighters in the game rather than interchangeable, one thought came to my mind, and that was, what would Zero Suit Samus's Final Smash be? She can't just simply put on the suit again, because that would mean she's interchangeable, and that's not the rules anymore. Then again, I should have thought, what are they going to do with Snake's Final Smash?
Hell yeah! The Gunship Final Smash was perfect for Zero Suit Samus, especially with how iconic the gunship is in the Metroid games. You get to gun down your enemies with dual laser cannons that not only have a shorter delay than the grenades that Snake has, but also lasts longer, trapping your enemies and ultimately blasting them at the end of the round. It's pretty damn awesome, makes you feel hell of a powerful when you let out these deadly laser cannons. Once again, they are a bit tricky to aim, but once you got it down, there's no stopping you.
6.
Conga Beat. A lot of people who encounter this Final Smash in Brawl probably thought, man, this Final Smash sucks. These puny waves do hardly anything to knock out your enemies. Well, you're kinda doing it wrong. Granted, I'll forgive you since Donkey Konga isn't the most popular game on the GameCube, but the point is you're supposed to time your button presses with the music. Thankfully, in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, they introduced the rhythm meters, so even if you're deaf, you can time your button presses with the rhythm meter and create a big combo, creating bigger sound waves to knock out your enemies if they have a high enough damage. As a music-based Final Smash, it's definitely one of my favorites, but I just kinda wish it was more like that.
5!
As much as I liked Luigi's Final Smash in Brawl, I gotta admit, it isn't the best. I mean, you're not letting out some big force that knocks them out. You're just putting them in a state that makes them easier to knock out. Plus, what is with the negative zone anyways? How does this have really anything to do with Luigi in the games? I mean, if Mario can bring out his EGAD device, why can't Luigi bring out his EGAD device? Now we're talking!
It's about time Luigi got to use the Poltergust in Super Smash Bros. It may not be his down special like his brother's EGAD device, but it's still hell of a fun to use as a Final Smash. Vacuuming up your enemies that are within a specific radius, and then spitting them out with such force that it knocks them out if they're in a high enough damage range. You also get to hear a satisfying pop whenever you eject an enemy from your device.
Every time I'm in the street, I hear
Man down, where you from?
Sorry, Luke Ford, I couldn't resist.
4!
So this year, Pokemon is going to be celebrating its 20th anniversary. And I'm pretty happy about that. But let's not forget that Sonic is celebrating his 25th anniversary this year as well. Sure, it may be hard to remember with the disaster that was Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, even though I didn't play it, his degradation into an MLG meme, and the psychologically scarring nightmare of Sonic Dreams. It seems like Smash Bros. Is the only recent good game that Sonic's been in.
Super Sonic pretty much had to be on this list. It's one of the most powerful Final Smashes in the game, if not the most powerful, and it looks so dang good when Sonic goes Super Saiyan, or Super Sonic. You go at full speed, ramming your enemies with invincibility. It has a bit of a shorter duration than it did in Brawl, and it is a bit difficult to control at times. But once you get the hang of it, there's no doubt you'll be taking out enemies easily. If this was based on pure power, then this would be number one, no doubt. But there's still more to come, so let's move on to the next 3 spots.
3!
Now this may seem like a bit of an odd choice, but hey, I did not say that Mii's were excluded from this countdown.
Let's talk about my custom Mii for a second. I named him Junior C, and look, he's even got a chicken hat. He's a pretty lethal fighter, got one of the deadliest uppercuts in the game, and his final smash, Omega Blitz, is one of the biggest spectacles you will see in the game. Wailing on your enemy, DBZ style, as you may call it, and slamming them into the ground with mighty force. Yeah, it may be pretty similar to Robin's final smash, but since it is my Mii bringing the hurt, it makes it a bit more special in my eyes. Especially since he's using his fists and not swords and magic spells. He's using his own hands to bring the pain. And that's pretty awesome.
2!
While I may have shown disapproval of Lucario's final smash beating his Mega Evolution, Now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, the essence from a Smash Ball could be very similar to that of a Mega Stone. With that being said though, Lucario's Mega Evolution is not the one that makes it on this countdown. And it's not Mewtwo either. That leaves only one option left.
That's right, Mega Charizard X is my favorite of the Mega Evolution Final Smashes. It's pretty similar to Yoshi's as they both can fly around the stage with ease. However, Yoshi just sprouts wings. With Charizard, you're going full dragon status, which means you can drill dive your enemies, which I'm guessing is supposed to be a Dragon Rush, and shoot Fire Blast to barbecue them. It's pretty awesome flying around the stage as this Elder Dragon. You can easily get KOs in if you know how to track your enemies, which shouldn't be hard since you're not rooted to the ground. With this Mega Evolution, Charizard can make a dragon wanna retire, man!
1.
Any guesses?
How could I not have Mega Man Legends as my favorite Final Smash? It pretty much won me over from its unveiling in the Smash Direct. I could talk about how this shows that Nintendo has more love for Mega Man than Capcom does, but that's been done before. Let's look at this in detail. First, Mega Man shoots out the Black Hole Bomb from Mega Man 9, Kyuji's favorite weapon. Once the enemy is sucked in, he is accompanied by 4 other generations of Mega Man. Mega Man X, Mega Man.exe from Battle Network, Mega Man Fall Nut from Legends, and Star Force Mega Man. All 5 of them join together to blast a collection of rainbow lasers at the enemy, ultimately destroying them. It's one of the best spectacles in the game. And look at the power behind it. Lucas had only 43 damage and got knocked out. Granted, this isn't the biggest stage, but that's still hella powerful. When it's a damn good spectacle, has loads of power, and really shows the legacy of the character, that's all I can really ask for in a Final Smash. Which is why Mega Man Legends is officially the winner.
This is Junior Chicken, and Mega Man Legends is my favorite Final Smash of all time. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been taking me a while to get back into the swing of things, but I promise you I'll be giving you more video content for the rest of the year. I got Pokemon countdowns, Junior reacts, analysis videos, and more fun videos for you to watch. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
I was running through the 6 with my woes. You know how that shit go.